Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Hopefully, all of the Americans out there had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Initially, I wasn't supposed to do anything. I was actually very excited about that, and then I kind of had it just like a day before Thanksgiving. Had it sprung on me. Oh yeah, family actually wants to do something, so went over there yesterday for a few hours from like I think it was like 2:30 p.m. to like 7:30, so like for 5 hours, which is way longer than it takes to eat stuff. Um my family was watching The Last of Us series. The I don't even know if it's called The Last of Us 2 or if it's just Last of Us season 2. I actually have no idea, but that's what they were watching. They were watching, the adaptation of Last of Us 2. And I gotta tell you, man, that shit's ass. That shit was so ass. It was terrible, dude. It was so bad. Um, just amazing how bad it is. Like they managed to change so much, and every change was for the worse. It was actually incredible. I don't know how they managed to do it. They still have all of the ass parts of the story that nobody liked from the games, but now they have even more ass problems. Really something you'd have to be just a scientist that specializes in just making things worse to take one of the greatest video games of all time and turn it into whatever that was, man. I mean, it's just so bad. It's so bad, guys. It's insane how bad it was. So yeah, that was my Thanksgiving is going over. Momo, stop that. Bad. That was my Thanksgiving. Is going down there and seeing all of that and being like, wow, this is awful. We obviously didn't watch the whole show, but I mean, I saw like 4 or 5 fucking episodes, which is way more than I ever wanted to see, for all being honest. It was bad. But it was nice seeing family again, of course. I love my family. I love spending time with them and seeing them. It's always a great time. But, even they, which, like, they like the Halo show. Okay, just to put this into... I just realized, since I can float, I can just float above the mines. Wait, this is kind of OP. Why have I not been doing this? It's definitely like they're not very picky about shows because they don't know the source material, which I'm sure also does help, to be fair. Is like, if you don't know how good the Last of Us game story is, I guess you don't really know what you're missing out on when it comes to the show. But oh my god, bro, it's just so much worse. Like, just play the game, bro. Just watch a playthrough of the game, even. Like, genuinely. Just watch a fucking Let's Play. And I do understand now why So many people were saying I was way too hard on the Last of Us 2 game. Because the Last of Us 2 game is so much better. I didn't understand. I understand. I understand. Genuinely, when I was watching the show, the entire time I was thinking, man, I kind of want to play the game just to like get the actual decent version of this story. And that's powerful. That's crazy that it elicited such a reaction. Thanksgiving was just watching movies here. I would have rather watched movies. Yeah. Instead of putting that god awful fucking show on. And I think that they were getting upset. That like those of us that knew the game were talking about the game as well. I think they were getting a little bit upset about it. I kind of did get that vibe. But like literally, because you know my dad, he watches like all of my streams and stuff, so he obviously knows the story of, you know, Last of Us 2. He saw me play through it initially right when it came out, and then he saw when I just played the PC version last year. And literally right when we get there, it's like the first episode, and he's like, wait, why is he working with Abby and why is he alive? I was like, Dad, this is literally the very beginning of the show. And he's like, oh. Just spoils it for everyone right out the gate. Literally the moment we get there, dude. I was like, oh my god. Oh. Stream it right after Japan, I think. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's probably like March of last year. But it's so funny. I was like, Dad, you just spoiled the fucking main thing. But yeah, my dad. Oh yeah, that was this year, huh? Yeah, that was this year. Feels like so long ago. Time flies when you're old. That's crazy that that was this year, actually. Yeah. How the hell do you get up there? There's stuff up there. Maybe around here. I don't remember from those streams, or just the weirdos that brought in because it was a weekend. I don't really remember anything from those streams other than like obviously the game, but I don't remember any people being very noteworthy, sticking out or anything. But yeah, that show's ass. Do not recommend. Definitely do not recommend. Ah, coffee. Oh, coffee. But yeah, Thanksgiving was good. It was pretty chill, and then I came home like 7:30, and went to bed. I was gonna take a nap, but I didn't wake up until like 2 a.m. or something. I slept from like 7 to 2 a.m. I slept from like 7 hours, and then I was like, damn. All right, That carb coma hit. And here we are now. Ready for Friday. For once, I have no meetings on a Friday. Oh, I swear, we always schedule meetings for Mondays and Fridays. And like, those are literally the worst days for meetings. Like a Monday, I hate Monday meetings because like nobody wants to fucking be there. Right? And so it just makes Mondays way worse. And nobody likes Friday meetings because nobody wants to be there. Everybody wants to be on the weekend. Everyone wants to be free. And they always schedule them for like my time, like 2 or 3. So it's like right when most people are like leaving, you know? Like most people want to leave, sign out, and be good for the weekend, and it's like, nah, you got a meeting on your schedule, you know? Like, I can't even imagine if you're East Coast, it's like 4 p.m., 5 p.m., you have a meeting. Oh, God. It's terrible. So, this is a Friday with no meetings, which is why I'm dressed like a hobo. Why I'm not dressed up, because I don't have to be. I get to chill. No meetings today. I don't have to be on a video call at all. I'm just gonna chill. I'm probably gonna grind Warframe a bit. And I'm gonna Bing chill, man. It's gonna be a really nice day. And hopefully it'll be chill. Like hopefully there won't be too many reports and stuff like that, but it's gonna be nice and relaxing. I'm already relaxed. I'm already feeling good and relaxed right now. It's gonna be a good day. Now, one thing that happened is that the other day, I checked the Humble Bundle for the month, and they sent me a discount, so only $7.50 for this Humble monthly. I'm like, well, I gotta get it. Before I even looked at the games, I was like, I gotta get it. And then I looked, and it had this game that my friends have been pestering me to play for, I mean, Jesus, probably at years at this point, like casually trying to get me to play it, but they've been like, the more strategy type games I've played with them, the more they've been like going hard to try and get me to play this game with them. And of course, that game was in the bundle. So now I own the game. Now I really have no excuse to not get into the game. It's a Warhammer game. I don't really know anything about Warhammer, to be honest. Like, all I know from Warhammer is like a couple lore videos when I was trying to pick my faction in Space Marines 2, and I've played like a few of the games. Like, I've played some Space Marines 1 and 2. I've played Vermintide. I've played Dark Tide. I've played Vermintide 2, and I've played I think I played a little Rogue Trader, but not much. But yeah. So that's gonna be on the list at some point. That's not a stream game though. There's no way I can stream that game. That is like a turbo dweeb. It's not even a real-time strategy game. I think it's like a 4X game. It's like super strategy game. Hi, Nexent. Hello. Good morning. Yeah, I have no idea how to get up here. We'll have to figure it out a little bit later. But let's keep exploring. Let's see what's over here. All I remember, the guy writing fan fiction about me is the one that's memorable. I don't even remember that. I do not even remember that at all. Oh, that black tea in the morning. I had some black tea the other day. It was good. It was quite good. It made me feel more awake than like energy drinks and stuff, but it was probably just placebo since I don't normally have that. Placebo's funky that way. But I'm having black coffee right now. Really, it's espresso. It's 2 double shots of espresso and a bunch of hot water. So really, it's espresso, not coffee, but, you know. Same thing, really. What's black tea? It is black tea. Yeah, there's green tea. This is black tea. Black tea is, like chai tea is the type of black tea. There's a bunch of different types of black tea. Chai tea is probably the most commonly known black tea. But it's typically just, the main distinction between black tea and, like other types of tea is usually caffeine. Black tea usually has caffeine. Practically always has caffeine, whereas something like green tea, I believe, doesn't have caffeine. If we had fucking Black Bolt in here, I'm sure he would break it down to a science. You know, those Brits are in their fucking tea. Ever since we dumped it all in the harbor, they, it's because they're the experts on it. And some ginger, lemon, cardamom. I've never heard of that. Cardamom. I couldn't tell if that said cardamorn. It was an R and an N or an M. I think it's an M. I've never heard of that. Etc. to make it up to your taste. Or if you're a freak like me, you add milk and sugar. That's what I add. Like to chai tea, I'll add a bit of milk and some sugar. Like a little freak. I like a milky tea. Like for my tea, I like it a little creamy. So I usually add milk to my tea. Like there's this peach tea that I really like. And I like to add a little bit of milk to it, and it's like a peach cream type of tea. It's really good. You think I need that? Silly Willy. I don't need that. I just walk in. A spice made from seeds of several plants in the genera Elateria and Amomum. Yep. I will take your word for that. That sounds like some high level tea enjoying. That sounds like For a novice tea enjoyer like me, that sounds like at least some journeyman tea enjoyer level shit. Way above my pay grade.
Sharpen up. Hostiles nearby.
How do they know?
That cover spot looks much better.
Uh-oh.
Hostile ahead. What's the play, man?
Play is murder? At least that's my play.
Enemy spotted.
Let's stake our claim.
A T critic, yeah. These are some high level T analyses above my T pay grid. Can't remember anyone ordering black tea when I worked at Starbucks. I know iced black tea was on the menu, but I think it was like the least ordered things. That's because Americans in general are more coffee focused than tea focused. If you go over more to the east, they're way more tea focused than we are. I literally think chai tea is like... Green tea is getting more popular, like matcha and stuff like that is getting more popular now over here. But I'm gonna be honest, bro. Real talk, you and me. Green tea here in the States is fucking ass. It's terrible. It's so bad. Compared to like when I got matcha over in Japan, bro, it is literally a completely different substance. It does not at all taste even remotely comparable to the swill that we drink here in the States, dude. It's pretty crazy. But I'll say in general, our coffee is better. Here in the States than over there, which is weird because actually over in Japan, they are obsessed with coffee. Like you would think that they would be a very tea focused place, and they are. You typically get like most of the places that you go to over there, they will give you hot water, and then they have like a thing of matcha that you could just like scoop in and give your basically just turn your water into like green tea. You know, like they like their tea, but coffee, I was really surprised. Coffee is like everywhere over there. So I think they're actually like these days probably split pretty 50-50 over there, but over here in the States, people are definitely more coffee focused.
I understand this spot has strategic significance for the defense of the archive, but it is horrifyingly banal. I mean, I've been stationed in some backwater burgs in the past. Seriously? Do these order eggheads do anything for fun around here? It's all math charts and chalkboards, and how many abakai does one outpost need? Hope they never retake this place.
Abakai. I never thought I'd heard that. Matcha Kit Kat is nice. I've never had the matcha Kit Kat. Ever heard of blue tea? I don't think so. Japanese, like European culture, it's cute or something. It's true, yeah. Well, they also like American culture. They have something over there, like how here in the States we have like weeaboos and weebs, which are, you know, like Americans that are obsessed with Japanese culture to like a really cringy degree. They have that, like over there in Japan, but with American culture. It's really funny. Where they're like, yeehaw, cowboy. Like, they're like very stereotypically American. It's funny. Lockpick 17. Jesus Christ. Little Roar. Roar, loyal subject. Let each blast loosed by this weapon reach the sovereign's willing ears. Shoots mini rockets. Rockets explode in a much larger radius. It scales with your explosive skill. Single shot, breech loaded handheld rocket launcher. It looks really cool. Look at that thing. Looks fucking awesome. Wannabe black Japanese guys. Yeah, it's great. It's adorable. There really is no greater comeback in alliance than America and Japan, you know? We're like just so tight now. I think it's adorable. We went from literally dropping the power of the sun on them to like, we're homies. And we love them and they love us. It's so cute. I mean, don't get me wrong. I did get shoulder checked a couple times over there. Especially in Hiroshima. By some older... some of the older demographic. But for the most part, like, people were just like, oh... America-jin? America-jin desu ka? Like, hi. America-jin desu. Like... oh, California? California? New York City? Like, no, Arizona. Arizona? Arizona? Nan desu ka? You're just like, And you just eventually concede and you're just like, yeah, California. Definitely. There's two places in America. California and New York City. That's it. That's all of America. Not like we are, you know, one of the biggest countries in the world or anything like that. There's 50 fucking states. No, yep. Just California, yep. Definitely. Close enough, right? California is close enough to Arizona. It's close enough to Oregon. Iced caramel macchiatos with like 20 pumps of everything are the most popular. Ugh. Yeah, Starbucks coffee is bad coffee. Yeah, it is. Like, if you ever just get black coffee at Starbucks so you can like really tell how gross it is, it's really gross coffee. It's not good. I had one guy that I worked with and he's like, oh, dude, the best thing to get at Starbucks is black coffee. It's so cheap. It's like only $1. And I'm like, yeah. Because it's disgusting. It's only $1 because you're drinking mud. Some mud water. And I'm drinking black coffee right now. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see. All right, I'm actually a black coffee enjoyer if it's good coffee. But Starbucks coffee is terrible. It's really bad. Coffee makes me poop. I think it has that effect on most people, yeah. Yeah, if it's good coffee, if you buy like actual premium coffee. Like this is two double shots of espresso and just hot water. That's it. But like I have a nice espresso machine. I buy nice beans, and so it's good. Do I like bitter stuff? I do. I enjoy sweet stuff as well. I enjoy creamy stuff. It all depends. For me, because of Thanksgiving yesterday, I just had too much sweet stuff. So I was like, I don't want any more sweets for a little bit. Because I had, like this, it's called like a millionaire's tart or something like that my uncle made. I had a cherry pie, which was my first ever cherry pie. Actually fire. I've never had a cherry pie before. Really good. Homemade cherry pie, homemade apple pie. It was just too much sweets, man. I was like, okay. I woke up today. I was like, I need caffeine. I think I'm just gonna have black coffee. Like, I'm gonna just chill. Plus, it's like, it's cold. So, it's nice, like, hot beverage to have when it's cold. But I like a black coffee. I mean, unlike that guy I worked with, I would never go to a coffee place and order a black coffee. Because that's, like, kind of crazy. But, you know, if I'm at home, I'll have a black coffee. Cherry pie, it was good. It was good. I was wondering how it would be because, you know, the only times I've ever had cherries is like when they put it on top of like an ice cream, you know, like a milkshake or like a sundae or something. And it's always like they're kind of bitter, you know. I know there's different types of cherries, so maybe it's just those types of cherries, but I was like, I don't know about a pie with a bunch of these like bitter things, you know. But the pie was like really sweet. It was really good. I'm a slut for sweets. A sucker for desserts, but I'm afraid I would get diabetes. My family is full of diabetic people. No, I feel you, dude. Just recently when I went to the doctors at the end of last month, I went to the doctors and a lot of my like indicators for like type 2 diabetes were high. I was like, uh-oh. And we basically narrowed it down because of other things that were low. We basically, like testosterone and stuff, we basically narrowed it down to lack of sleep. Because for 6+ years, I've been averaging about 4 hours of sleep a day. And we kind of just agreed that I'm getting too old for that, you know? It's finally catching up with me, and like my test results are starting to indicate it, so... probably within the next week or so here, I'll go back in for my November results. I'll go get it tested and hopefully testosterone is up and a lot of the indicators for diabetes are low and stuff like that, more in line with healthy. Because like this entire month, for over a month now, I think like a month and a half actually, whenever I made that video on the channel that's like, I'm getting too old for this, which I want to say was like a little over a month ago. I've been averaging about like 6 or 6.5 hours of sleep. So still not quite to the 8 that is like recommended, but still way better than I was. And I feel way, way better also. Iced caramel macchiato with 5 pumps of extra caramel. Why did I say caramel the first time and caramel the second time? I think it's because the first time I said it, I was thinking like, wait, do I say caramel or do I say caramel? And then I like psyched myself out mid-sentence. I think I normally say caramel, I think. Now I'm second guessing myself. 20 extra pumps of vanilla. Yeah, that's gross. It's disgusting. That's just disgusting. You're just you're drinking sludge. I Tara, so I feel that lack of sleep too. For me, it's just that I'm busy, you know. I do have night terrors. Mainly from the like the times that I worked in forensics all those years ago. So I do still have like night terrors, but I'm really good about being able to just like go back to sleep after them. You know, I wake up, I'm covered in sweat. It's like, oh man, that sucked. but I can just go right back to sleep. So like it's not too big of an issue there, but it's just been that I've been too busy, and that's why I've been kind of neglecting sleep for years. You know, because like I work full time, about 50 hours a week. I'm a full-time student, which is another like 15 to 25 hours a week. And on top of that, I try and hang out with friends. I try and hang out with family. I do cardio every day. I do strength training 4 days a week, you know, on top of just like doing general errands and stuff like that. And I like to have some free time to, you know, game or stream or whatever. So, you got to get rid of something, right? And so I was getting rid of sleep for a long time. But now that I'm almost 30, you know, I'm 29 now. I basically just needed to be like, all right, I gotta, you know, until I'm finished up with this degree, I need to just chill on the streaming and the gaming and stuff like that. You know, prioritize the stuff that actually matters in life. And even though I love gaming and I love streaming, it's definitely like the lowest on the priority, you know. Yeah, 6 hours of sleep is good. 6 hours of sleep is actually like pretty good. Like my doctor said that you should, like, there's no way you can go from like an average of 4 hours of sleep to 8. He's like, there's no way you're gonna be able to do that. So like try and shoot for 6. But he said like 6 to 7 is usually good for most people until they're like until they're like 40. And then you want to like try and be getting 8. But yeah, 6 to 7 is like definitely still good. Literally my arm workout making it. That is a pathetic workout. Sleep paralysis as a kid and now night terrors every night. My teens, they're all gone, but I kind of missed the thrill. I don't know if I'd call night terrors a thrill. Sleep paralysis might be a thrill. I don't know. I've somewhat had it once. And even then it wasn't like real sleep paralysis, because it was like one of those like dreams within a dream within a dream type of situations where you're at like the outermost layer of the dream thinking like, man, I'm not dreaming, and you're like kind of aware that you're still dreaming. So I haven't had full on like eyes are awake, see a damn demon crawling up my legs or something, you know, that hardcore. Yeah, 30's right around the corner, man. It's crazy. It is crazy how time flies. You know what's really crazy to think? That like we're approaching 30. My average viewer, I think, is 33, right? On the channel. I'm approaching 30. Average viewer is 33. Back in 1900, I just learned this. Back in 1900, the average life expectancy was 30. Isn't that insane? I literally thought the average life expectancy in 1900 would have been like, you know, I don't know, 40, 45 at least. I didn't think it was that low. 30 average is rough, man. And already in like 100 years, we've managed to get it up to like 60, you know, I think it's like 65 for men. It's around there, like 65, 67, something like that. And it's only going up. So now it's like I'm not even like mid-life yet, but go back 100 years, bro, it'd be like, damn, you're still alive. It's crazy. I didn't think I'd see 18, so it's not hard to process for me. See, I always was like going to live long ass life, so I still feel so young. It's definitely one of those things that you don't think about when you're younger, but even as I'm approaching 30, I still regularly feel like I'm 15. Your body will remind you that you're not. But like mentally, you're like I still feel so young. It's a very strange thing. It makes me wonder, like, when you're old, are you attracted to old people, I wonder? Like, when I'm like 60, am I going to be attracted to 60-year-olds, or am I still going to be attracted to like mid-20-year-olds, like 30-year-old women? You know? I wonder about that. I guess time will tell and I'll figure out, but like, I think you'll probably still be attracted to like mid-30 or mid-20 and like 30-year-old women, but you'll be like 60. So then it'll, like, people will think it's weird. I don't know. It's strange. Because, like, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I mean, when I was a teenager, I was attracted to, like, chicks in their 20s and 30s. And now I'm older, and I'm still attracted to chicks in their 20s and 30s. I'm like, is it going to age up? I don't know. Interesting. When you open your eyes, there's a face right up in your face, quite horrifying, or there's figures standing outside the window, or an object in your room is shaped like a person and takes form of a face. Yeah, that sounds terrifying. Got stabbed in the chest when I was 12, so my grasp of reality was frayed from childhood. Damn, that's crazy. I mean, I had an experience like, not like that, but like, I was hospitalized when I was like, I don't know, 9 or 10. And they couldn't figure, like, they transferred me to multiple hospitals and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And they literally sat down and they were like, yeah, you guys need to prepare for the worst. Like, your vitals are getting weaker and weaker and we can't figure out what it is. Like, basically just sat us down and like, was like, yo, you gonna die, son. So I've definitely had like an altered, like, I've never been afraid of death. You know, that's how it affected me, is because like my parents were like crying and they called, you know, grandparents and aunt and uncle and stuff, and like they're like, yo, Zach might die. And I remember just being like, damn, this kind of sucks. Like, this isn't really fair. I'm so young. What the hell? I didn't even get to do anything yet. But like, ever since then, I've never really been like afraid of death or anything, which I guess is different from most people. Most people are like very afraid of death. I haven't been afraid of that since like I kind of accepted it back then. And it didn't seem that scary to me. You know, even though like my vitals were like very weak and I was probably way closer than anyone wanted to admit to dying at the time. Lord knows I felt like fucking death, but I don't know. It wasn't really like a scary experience. It was much more of like just a bummer, you know? And then when I was 20, I got mugged by 3 dudes with knives, literally like just poking into me. And it was scary in the fact of like, I didn't want to get stabbed because I was like, man, this shit would hurt. Like, this shit would really hurt. But it wasn't scary in the form of like, it was more aggravating. Honestly, it was aggravating because I was like, man, like, there's nothing I can do in this situation. And if I act up, like, I'll probably die and it's gonna really hurt. It wasn't like I'm so afraid of dying, you know? It was more just like, man, once again, this shit is unfair, you know? But yeah, I've never really been afraid of death since, I don't remember, you know, if like when I was like really little, like 7, 8 or whatever, like before that hospital experience, if I was afraid of death. But I know for sure after that experience, I've never been afraid of death. Like, it is what it is, you know? We all live, we all die. It's the destination. Yeah, that doesn't scare me either. Because, like, no matter what happens, it's gonna happen. You know? So it doesn't really scare me of, like, any concept of the afterlife. Because whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. You know? For me personally, I think it's, like, most probable that it's just the same as before you were alive. You know? Just, like, nothingness. I feel like. But obviously none of us will know until the time, right? That's why I'm agnostic on the whole thing, because I'm like, I have no idea, man. I'll know when I die. Yeah. Peace out, guys. See ya. Yeah, if I ever just stop uploading content, it's because I died. Like, I will never stop uploading content, so... If I just stop uploading content, I died. You know? Happened on Friday was the scariest thing I've ever experienced. Yeah, that definitely seems scary. I think our atoms and subatomic particles rearrange themselves into something else. Bacteria, leaf, birds, poop, and eventually another person. Yeah, I mean, the law of conservation... Jesus Christ. The law of... what is it? Conversion of energy? Right? I'm not a physics guy, but... You know. Matter is essentially just recycled. All of the matter that we know has just been passed around from thing to thing to thing to thing. Conservation. That's the word I was looking for. I kept thinking like conversion. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. But yeah, it's like everything is passed around from thing to thing to thing. So I could see that. I mean, I don't know. When it comes to your consciousness or soul or anything like that, I think it's probably just our brain being little computers. The brain is a crazy thing, you know? So I think like once the brain is no longer on, it's like powering off the computer. Is your computer still thinking? Is your computer still being? Not really. Like if it doesn't have power, it's not doing anything, you know? So I feel like our brain is probably the same thing, but definitely because as humans, we have a lot of ego and we want to believe that we're very different. I think that definitely goes into a lot of these external beliefs of like, oh, there's got to be something else, or there's got to be like a greater purpose and stuff like that. And I think it makes sense. You want to make order out of chaos. But I don't know. For me personally, I just have never really seen anything that has led me to believe that, you know, when we die, it's basically just the same as going back to when we didn't exist. Or the way I like to describe it to people is, you know, when you go to sleep and then you just wake up and you don't have any dreams, you don't have any sleep paralysis or night terrors or anything. Like you just have a good night's rest, and then you try and think back on what it was like when you were sleeping. Right? Like, what was it like? And it was nothing, right? You have no idea. You have no concept of it. It was just nothingness. I feel like that's probably the most realistic interpretation of you dying, is it's just infinite of that, of nothingness. Which doesn't really scare me because I kind of like to sleep. So, you know, I'm kind of a sleep enjoyer. So if it's just like sleeping with no nightmares or anything forever, you know. Yeah, Kenzie. I can imagine that can be very scary as a... You know, as a parent, I think it's much scarier when things are happening to your kids than even if they're happening to you. You know? Because, like, the one thing no parent wants to experience or should have to experience in theory is, like, the death of their child, right? Like, I think that's, like, an inherent major fear in humans, is it's, like, we have this thought process of, like, yeah, I should live longer than my... or my kid should live longer than me, right? And so when that doesn't happen, it's like a complete shake of our reality. Just flips everything upside down. It's like, wait, this isn't supposed to happen. This isn't how it's supposed to happen. Yeah, we're not meant to bury our children, exactly. That version of you is definitely gone after you die. The universe is constantly collapses stars and produces new ones. Yeah, I mean, the universe is, for everything we know, infinite. It's insane. So, you know, that's why I'm an agnostic person, because some people look at the infiniteness of the universe and they look at how everything kind of works together and how we've managed to create such greatness and stuff. And some people find, you know, a godlike being in that, and some people find, you know, spirits or energy or whatever, like, that helps them make sense of it. For me, like I said, I'm just an agnostic person. I'm like, I have no idea. That's my professional takeaways. Like, everything I've learned about biology and chemistry, all of it is so fascinating. It's also miraculous that it all works the way that it does, and all of just the processes that go on in any living thing, even the simplest of life forms, is so extremely fascinating and so in depth, that it's super cool to learn about, right? I mean, it's literally what my first degree was in, is like understanding how we exist, right, with biochemistry. And I've always found it very fascinating. But the more and more you learn, it's kind of this funny thing. The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. Which is why there's the saying of, like, the smartest people in the world are the most aware of the things that they don't know. Is because the more I learned about biochem, the more I was like, wow, this shit is insane. Like, it has seemingly no end. And even, like, the amount of things that we just literally don't even understand about our own bodies is crazy. Especially, like, once you start delving into neuroscience and you're like, okay, yeah, we know a lot about something like schizophrenia, right? I mean, we have an insanely early documentation of schizophrenia. Everybody knows schizophrenia. Oh, we have no idea what causes it. Well, that's a little terrifying. What about this mental disorder? Oh, we have no idea what causes it. What about this one? No idea what causes it. It's like, how do we not understand all of this stuff still? We have no idea. We have all of these, like, oh, with schizophrenia, you'll have these neurotransmitters that are more active and these ones that are less active and stuff like that. We, like, have all of these indicators of it from a neuroscience perspective, but we don't have this causes it, you know? And it's like, there's so many things like that in science where it's like, well, why does this happen? Yeah, we don't know. No clue. It's like, what? Isn't that crazy? It's like, nah, dude, that's actually not crazy at all. We don't know a whole lot of shit. We don't know a whole lot of the most basic shit. And I'm sure in 100 years, it'll be like, oh man, I can't believe that we lived that long without knowing this. You know, it's bound to happen. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I totally understand. We had a conversation the other day about, like, religion, and because there's, like, a particularly religious guy in chat talking about spiritual means and stuff like that, and it's definitely one of those things where I totally understand when people look at all the craziness and stuff and they seek to find a god or spirits or whatever to make sense of it. I totally understand. It makes sense. Thought schizophrenia was caused by genetics and stuff. Well, here's the thing. Correlation does not mean causation. So we have a lot of like positively correlated traits that have to do with something like schizophrenia, but none of them are like proven like sources of it, right? So we've done longitudinal studies of twins, for example, with schizophrenia, and we have found varying degrees of both twins, even though they're in different environments, having schizophrenia, right? And we have all of these positively correlated traits, like in certain seasons. If a kid is born in certain seasons, then they have higher odds of having schizophrenia, right? Or if they are born in the city or just generally higher populated areas, they have higher odds of having schizophrenia, right? There's like all of these positively correlated traits, but none of them are the cause, right? It's and that's kind of the tricky thing about science, is that you can find all of these crazy correlations, even ones that have like very strong correlation coefficients, which is how you like typically determine if things are 1-to-1. But they can just be like randomly synced up variables because of just the nature of the world with infinitely generated variables, you know? So like when it comes to something like schizophrenia and basically every single mental disorder, we do not have a cause. It's not like Down syndrome. We know the cause, right? We know it from like a genetic level. We know exactly what it's going to be, and that's why we can determine ahead of time if a child is going to have Down syndrome, right? You can't do that with any mental disorder. You can't be like, yeah, this kid is gonna have schizophrenia, right? This kid's gonna have autism. Like autism is barely understood, dude. It's insane how little we know about autism. Despite the fact that I think it's affecting 1 in 8 kids now. 1 in 8 boys, I believe, are being tested positive for autism spectrum disorder, which is like a lot. I mean, that's a very high number, you know? So it's kind of crazy we know so little about something that's affecting 1/8 of the boys. 80 years since we stopped lobotomizing people, so saying that we still don't know shit about our true anatomy. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah. Very true. So you have X, Y, and Z wrong with you. It does this and this. Okay, but what causes it? We don't know. Well, what the fuck do you know? They know that there's a bunch of possible medications that they can then go through and give you, and then like fucking as barbaric as it is, they will look at the symptoms and the side effects that you're having and how much it's reducing your symptoms, and then they'll work with you to see if it's beneficial for you to be on that medication or if it's time to try the next one. And they literally just go through like you're a fucking lab rat until they find the one that has the least side effects and the best reduction of symptoms. You know, like literally the class I'm taking right now is pharmacology, and pharmacology is all about exactly that. It's just like determining what mental disorder somebody has and then going through the laundry list of approved medications for that until you can like figure it out. One of them high functioning. Hey, me too. Autism benefits societies a lot because they can hyper focus on one topic. It depends, you know. High functioning individuals they can definitely contribute quite a lot to society. I would say I probably contribute quite a lot to society, but then, you know, some people are unfortunately born fairly low functioning, and those people can basically do nothing for society. I mean, they have a core inability to socialize whatsoever, and oftentimes even like perform many basic tasks is can be difficult for them because of their brain just literally works differently. So it's a big spectrum. I can't play the piano, but I can build a computer or an AR-15 blindfolded. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. I can play the piano though, but hell yeah. I see what you mean though. Hell yeah. I don't know if I could take my everyday carry apart blindfolded and put it back together. I don't think I could do any of my rifles or shotguns though. I haven't taken them apart enough. But definitely my EDC I could take apart blindfolded and put it back together. I'm pretty confident in that. Social skills are out the window. For me, I've just I've learned to mask like a motherfucker. Like, I used to be terrible at masking. But over the years, I've gotten better and better and better and better. And definitely, like, post-diagnosis, I think that really helped me as well. Because post-diagnosis, it helped me realize, like, oh, okay, I am not just, like, an asshole. I mean, I can be an asshole, sure. But, I'm not just an asshole that, you know, doesn't care about people and doesn't relate to people or anything else. My brain just works differently, and I need to work with it differently, you know?
Protectorate got this locked up tight, but we can unseal it somewhere by the archive's entrance, if I recall.
By the archive's entrance. Interesting. Probably one of these doors that I can't open because I don't have the key card. Yeah, I need the override access card. My favorite is I couldn't even tell you were autistic. Like, yeah, that's the point. Yeah, people who don't understand autism, when you try and explain masking to them, from my experience at least, they really, like, cannot fathom the concept. They think that you're like fucking Dexter or something, and you're like a serial killer, and you're like pretending to be normal so you don't, you know, stick out that you're a little murder machine or something. And it's like, no. That's not what masking is. Masking is just like trying to minimize the impact of being different, right? So like my go-to when I'm explaining it to people is that I have touch aversion. I do not like being touched. I have to really know a person well and like really work up to being okay being touched by somebody, right? It's not something that I can just like get touched by normal people and be okay. I'll get like sensory overload. I'll be like very, very uncomfortable, very stressed out. And if it's bad enough, I can even essentially have a lot of the traits of like having a panic attack, right? However, if I go to an interview, I know I need to shake that motherfucker's hand. You know? Like, I know it is just part of the process that I need to shake that person's hand, because if I do not shake that person's hand, it's gonna look bad, right? And if I want to optimize my chances of getting a job, I need to I need to just go through with it, you know? And most importantly, I need to act like it doesn't bother me because I don't want to set off any red flags or anything like that. So like, that's a good example of masking, is like, I am going to shake your hand and I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure that it doesn't seem like it's bothering me, even though it does. Right. That's a really good example of masking that I use to explain it to people oftentimes. And some of the stuff even is fake it until you make it. Like, some of it actually is that, where like, by imitating a lot of the things that you see other people doing that are more normal, you can it can eventually just become kind of like, you know, second nature to you, which can really help you, like, especially in social situations. Masking can allow you to lose yourself. There gets to a point where being around so many people, you've adapted your personality to the point you don't even recognize yourself. It definitely can. But also it depends how strong your sense of self is. My sense of self is very, very strong. Like, I know who I am. I know, like, the real me, no matter how much I mask in order to, you know, fit in or whatever with the group. Like, I still know who I am. But some people can definitely struggle with that. And it depends, like, how often you're masking as well. Like, some people will mask in their daily relationships. I don't do that. So, like, for me, I will mask at a professional level because I worked one job where I told people I was autistic, and I will never do it again. I will never do it again because their attitudes towards me changed night and day. They treated me like I was turbo retarded. Like, literally, I was the guy with the highest metrics in the entire office. People would regularly come to me for help and assistance. I was the guy that they went to, you know, if they needed help. And I was even in charge of training new hires and stuff like that. I got diagnosed when I was 25, and I told people. I told the people that I worked with in confidence. I was like, oh yeah, you know, I saw my psychiatrist, and I got diagnosed as having autism spectrum disorder, you know, which is like very new to me. I've been kind of dealing with that. And it was practically overnight that now I was apparently a turbo retard. I was no longer the person that had been training all of the people. I was no longer the person with the highest metrics that they could go to. It was like, hey, Zach, how you doing, man? Yeah, you getting along all right? You making sure everything's done? Oh, yeah, good job. And I'm just like, yeah, like what the fuck is happening here? Like, nothing has changed, my guy. Like, I now know a little piece about myself that I didn't know before, and it's helped explain a lot of things throughout the course of my life. But like, I'm still the #1 person here in the office. I'm still like, nothing has changed. But the way that they treated me made me realize that the average person does not understand autism. They don't understand what it means, and they think it's like the equivalent of fucking Down syndrome or something. It was insane, like how fast people switched up on me. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, I made me mad. I was like, what is going on? Like, why are you treating me like I'm a child or something, you know? And I have never told any person ever again in my daily life, you know, that I work with or whatever, that I'm autistic anymore.
These supplies went to waste.
Because it's just better if they don't know. Like, they treat me normal. And as long as I can, you know, mask well enough, then they have no idea and they don't treat me differently. It's like, I don't want to be treated differently. I want to be treated the same as everybody else. And you know, that just doesn't happen when people know, unfortunately. So like my family knows, obviously, my close friends know, obviously. Other than that, and like if I get in a relationship with somebody, they will know eventually. It probably won't be something that like I tell, because I haven't really dated since then, you know. The last relationship I was in ended midway through 2020. So it's been like quite a few years. So so I don't know. I actually don't know. Like if I was dating, if I would tell the person out the gate. I probably would not tell the person out the gate. You know? And it sucks having to do that. And when normal people, like I said, when normal people hear like masking, they're like, oh my God, like he's like Dexter. He's hiding his real self. So that way he doesn't stick out or something. It's like, well, if you guys didn't treat me like a fucking retard when I tell you the truth,
It's always deadly quiet in your quarters, Azza.
then maybe I wouldn't have to, dude. It's not my
What do
like.
you get up to in there?
I don't know. What do you do?
Well, I like to draw sketches. If
It's like the stories I've always heard of people being like telling someone that they're gay, and then like their homies treating them super differently and be like, oh, you don't want to, hopefully you don't want to suck my dick or something, you know? And it's like, bro, what are you talking about?
Hey, we weren't done talking. Well, I like to draw sketches, if I'm honest, of plants and creatures, whatever I find on my travels.
I used to find solace in art, but it became too tangled in my mind with my unreasoning rage and violent tendencies. I hope.
God damn it. These fucking mines are everywhere. But yeah, it's like, oftentimes people are like, oh wow, you're so lucky that you're autistic, because like
We weren't done talking.
it's made you
I
so
used to find solace in
smart,
art, but it became
and you're
too
so,
tangled in my
you know,
mind
you're so
with my
good at
unreasoning
science
rage
and math. I
violent
wish I was
tendencies.
autistic. I'm like, bro, you
I
have
hope one day
you have no
I can
idea.
find comfort in it again. I now mostly
I would love to be a
think
normal person.
about everything. If my silence disturbs you, I can make more noise.
Oh, no need to cause a ruckus on my account. Though if you could make a little more noise if you enter a room when our backs are turned, that'd be great.
That's cute. They're getting to know each other. Isn't misunderstood. Everyone is different. No person is the same. It's crazy. I think it's such a broad spectrum. There is no telltale sign. It's a combination of cognitive attribute. Yeah, and the thing is, even people that are professionals, that are experts in autism spectrum disorder, it typically takes several sessions with those experts to get a proper diagnosis. You know, like it took me, I saw a therapist for years, literally for years. I saw a therapist for external reasons, because of a lot of the things that I had experienced during working forensics and stuff like that. I was recommended to see a therapist, and I did, and it helped a lot. And I advocate for speaking to professionals and stuff. So I saw a therapist for years before eventually she was like, I am gonna refer you to a colleague because I think she might be a little bit better at understanding you. And really what she was getting at was that she was referring me, you know, because she didn't have the, like, a therapist is basically just someone you fucking talk to. She was getting me to a psychiatrist who could actually diagnose me as, you know, being autistic. But even then, when I saw the psychiatrist, it took, I saw her once a month, and I know for sure it took like at least 3 or 4 sessions of doing like she would have me do weird tests too, ask me like strange questions that I was like, these are kind of weird questions. Like how do you brush your teeth and stuff like that. Like these questions, like seemingly benign questions, but have, you know, deeper motives. If you know, you know. And you know, like going through a storybook and asking, you know, what happens on the next page and stuff without showing you. All of these like tests that now I understand are common tests for autism that I didn't understand at the time, to really narrow it down. But it's like, if a trained professional takes several sessions talking with you to get to that point, it really does just go to show like how wide the variance is, and why the most important takeaway here: you're not smart enough to self-diagnose. You're not that guy. I know you can, people, especially with TikTok and shit, they think I'm that guy. I can self-diagnose. You can't. You can't. It takes professionals that have dedicated 8 years of their life to studying the DSM and various mental disorders to be able to diagnose people. You're not that guy. Okay. So that's something that I feel like has also unfortunately kind of plagued autism, is there's so many people that are self-diagnosed autistic, and they're not. You know, they just go, oh my god, I have that trait. I have that trait too. I must be autistic. It's like, no, motherfucker, you're not. Okay. A lot of the traits of autism are seen in completely neurotypical individuals. It matters the extent. It matters, you know, for some of the traits, duration. It matters how often they occur. I mean, there's so many variables in it, like I said. If someone does that condescending tone with the little lead in, I'm immediately going for the throat. It's just like a very unfortunate fact of life, man. Is like, the average person doesn't understand it, and so to them, like, they need to treat you differently. It's just like I said, it's just like when somebody comes out as being gay. It's like, okay, like that's changed nothing. Like I've had 2 friends that came out. I was the first person that they came out to as gay, and both of the times I was just like, all right. And they're like, oh, like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, why would it? Like, you're still the same person that I've been friends with. Like, unless you're trying to fuck, literally nothing has changed, you know? So it's exactly like that. It's like, if somebody told me like, hey man, I'm autistic, I'd be like, all right. So what? I don't care. It doesn't affect anything. Yeah, there's a lot of overlap between autism and ADHD. Also between autism and gender dysphoria, and there's a lot of overlap as well. To the point where it is actually being studied currently. And we could see with the DSM-6, we could see some of those disorders all get lumped together. It would not surprise me if we see stuff like gender dysphoria get lumped in with the autism spectrum disorder, if it just becomes one of the traits. Same with ADHD, if that kind of gets lumped in. Because that's what happened with god damn it, what is that? Asperger's. Asperger's does not exist anymore. Asperger's got lumped in as high functioning autism now. So Asperger's is not something that we will ever like diagnose somebody with anymore. It does not exist. Now it is just somebody that is high functioning autistic. Because there were such overlaps with a lot of the trades. You back in South Carolina that self-diagnosed him as being autistic because he didn't like to bathe himself. Oh, that's funny. You're like Sheldon Cooper. I am not like Sheldon Cooper. Bazinga. Are they rewriting the DSM-5? I mean, that's what they do every few years. They come back on the DSM. That's why we're on the 5. So the DSM-6 will come. For anyone that doesn't know, the DSM is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, I believe is what it stands for. It's essentially just the big old book of mental disorders and all sorts of categorizations of people who are neurodivergent. And it's what psychiatrists use in order to, you know, diagnose somebody as being neurodivergent. I get uncomfortable if they're making it obvious and being flirtatious towards me. I've been hit on by 2 gay dudes. I mean, but that's the same for anybody flirting with you, right? It's like anybody flirting. Like, I've had chicks flirt with me. I've had dudes flirt with me. It's always uncomfortable if it's not something that if it's like you're not into the person. You know? I think that's more just, it's not really a problem with gay people. It's just a problem with people coming on to you that you're not interested in. And maybe it's more apparent to you because you're not gay, so you're not interested in them. And maybe like sometimes you're interested in the women or something like that. But like, as a dude that does not like being hit on or flirted with or anything like that, I've had it both ways a lot of times. Like, especially when I've been in like long committed relationships. There's something about being in long committed relationships that makes women flock to you. I literally had a chick. I was dating this girl for years, and chicks would just regularly be like, hey, you still dating blah blah? And I'm like, yeah. And then they would switch up, bro. I had a chick, we were assigned to work together, and you know, I think it was physics. We were doing a physics project, and then I look over and she's on her phone watching porn. Like, we're in the hallway alone together, and she's watching porn.
At least the invasion stirred up some much
And I'm just like,
chaos in Arcadia.
what are you doing,
Did I
bro?
mention that I got no interest in your
Like,
opinions of my
focus up. And then she's like, how does this make you feel?
Like,
Are you into this? What type of stuff are you into? And I'm just like, what is going on right now? I'm like, brother, we need to do this fucking physics project. Like, what the hell? There's something about, like, when you're in a relationship, like, chicks fucking are into you. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm a deeply loyal person. I despise the thought of cheating on a significant other. I would never do it. I would rather die. I'd rather be tortured than cheat on a significant other. So to me, it is like the most disgusting behavior ever, and it's just so gross. It's just like, what are you doing? Ugh. Dude. Disgusting. And, but yeah, like, it's an example of, like, a chick coming on to me, and this chick was really hot. Like, really, really hot. She was considered like one of the hottest chicks in my school. super attractive girl, but a hoe. Like, definitely a hoe. I remember she was bragging about going down on a dude in like fucking 7th grade or something, and everyone was like, oh, okay, so she a hoe. She destined to be a hoe. You know, definitely hoe material. But, you know, that's a perfect example of like, it's an attractive chick and making you feel uncomfortable because she's making schmoves on you, right? And it's, I'm in a relationship, dude. I'm not interested. So I think that's more so what it is. It's just, and like I said, it sticks out to people a little bit more because if you're not gay, a dude hitting on you is always going to make you uncomfortable, right? Whereas if you're straight and a chick is hitting on you, like, maybe it might not make you feel uncomfortable. Maybe it might make you feel good. Maybe it might fluff your ego, especially if you're a dude that like chicks don't normally approach or something like that. Like, it might fluff your ego a little bit. You might feel good about it. So it just all depends, you know. Gay people love giving free shit. They love buying you drink. If you go to a gay bar and you're a dude and you're like somewhat okay looking, you know, you're cooking. Like, they're getting you free drinks and all sorts of stuff. I've went to one gay bar and the amount of dudes trying to plow my ass was crazy. It was insane. Let me tell you, it did not make me feel good. It made me uncomfortable, but the free drinks did help me feel good. So it counteracted it, you know? It was the yin and the yang. I'm like, ooh, kind of gross that you're making schmoves on me, but free drink, you know? Yeah, we were straight up at school and she did that. It was insane. And then, of course, I told, whenever I told any of my friends, they're like, bro, Mariah did that? I'm like, yeah. They're like, Mariah. The short Italian Mariah. I'm like, yeah. They're like, dude, you should have hit that. It's like, dude, come on, dude. No, what the fuck?
Do your own research.
I'll still have friends that like went to high school with me be like, dude, have you seen what Mariah looks like these days? Like, she is so hot. I'm like, okay, man. Like, you really should have. You should have hit that. I'm like, no. I was in a goddamn relationship, dude.
Wounds in my mind. The first few weeks were horrible. Grief dogging my every step. Nightmares of my murdered colleagues. But then, the nightmares began to ease, and the grief ebbed away. What replaced them is emptiness. The Order speaks of humanity becoming something more, but their words are insufficient speculation. There is nothing more to be. Only dust and death, and the rifts await us. Those rifts, I find the absolute annihilation they offer oddly soothing. Perhaps I will make one last pilgrimage. One last journey on the path from nothing to nowhere.
Damn, that's kind of deep. Disrespect your current partner, their ego gets off on it. I mean, it is an actual fact. A disgusting fact, but it is an actual fact that men that are wearing a wedding ring are approached by more women than men who aren't. Like, seemingly single men are approached by less women than seemingly taken men. It is like a very gross but unfortunate fact of, like, there is this thing in the female brain. I always have to say this because women love going, well, actually, I'm a girl and I don't do this, or I know a girl that doesn't do this. Not all women, but many. There's this weird thing where they view it as if you already have a partner, then that means like you're safe and you're one of the good ones, and like I should go for you because clearly there's something of value and merit in you that someone else found, and they already kind of like went through the, whether it's the dating regime or whatever, they went through the whole song and dance and they found you, so like you're worth their time, right? I think that's probably like a lot of what the psychology behind it is. And even when I've talked to women, they're like, I mean, if a guy's married, then that means like he's willing to settle down. Like he's probably, you know, probably like one of the, I know he's not a fuck boy. Whatever. Everyone's like, yeah, but he's married. So he's willing to settle down, not with your ass. Dude, I can like barely see these fucking guys. I can't run through here.
Raring to go.
I'm hitting them somehow. I literally barely see these shits. Yo, this music's kind of fire.
Wrist weapon prime.
I feel like there's no way I'll even do damage. Oh man, 388, pretty good. I've been cheated on several times, but in the past I would always go for the best looking people with no regards for personality. Now I hate loud, obnoxious women with egos. I don't really like loud, obnoxious people just in general. Honestly. I like people that will be like outspoken, and I like people that are confident, but I don't like people that are just like loud for no reason, you know? Like obnoxious people. Not a big fan of. God damn it. Got stuck. Oh! Okay. We made it through. That was close. Come here, homie. Oh my god. Will you stop running about?
Recharge for mayhem.
Fucking psycho. Turn it into entertainment. Well, the thing is, I just find it uncomfortable. Because it creates drama, you know? And I don't like drama. Like, you might be chill with it, Kenzie, but most women are not. Like, most women, they get very, like, combative if you're talking to another chick or, like, even if it's not your fault, like, if a chick shows interest in you and she's, like, making moves on you, it will piss off your partner. With a lot of women that I've been with. So it just, like, it creates drama. And I don't want drama.
Wandering across that bridge.
Yeah, so I'm just like, leave me alone, please. But I'll be honest, if a woman approaches me ever, it's already a red flag. Because I just don't think many women do that. Especially not approach a guy like me. So it's already a red flag to me if a woman is approaching me. I'm already like, okay, where's the camera? Where's the camera? There's got to be a fucking some YouTube video. It's got to be, there's something going on here, you know?
Sir, the extra food drop has landed somewhere
Women are
off
not
target
just
over in
interested
border
in men.
exactly where I wanted it. They act all high and mighty, but I give them 30 minutes before they cave and try it. It's the hot shot for hire from the wireless. Appreciate you handling our dirty work.
Oh wow, you don't have to phrase it like that.
Hey, you there. Got a minute? Hey, you there. I got a job that needs doing if you've got the time. It pays, of course. I need help finding
What men have done since time began. Tell them you're gay. I do. I definitely have done that before.
Well, I'll be. That's them, all right. Can I offer you a finder's fee for asset recovery?
Absolutely. Hold on. I fought a lot of monsters to get this. I expect a pretty substantial payout. Oh, that's cool. So because I have this skill, it tells me that my rep will go down. It's kind of neat.
Great. And here is one standard.
Maybe that's why my rep hasn't been going up.
The pleasure doing business with you.
I've been asking for more money and it makes your rep not go up as much. That's kind of fucked.
The free market is not correct for losses like this.
Oh. Instantly lost the bonus that I got. Oh, +1 to rep. Oh, instantly lost it because of fucking kleptomania.
Sir, the extra
Yep.
food drop has landed
Kleptomania moment right there. We love that.
Hey, you there. I got a job that needs. Well, I'll be. Great.
All right, let's not steal things, please. Unless no one's looking, in which case, see, we can steal this. That's fine. As long as they're not knowers, it's fine. Been grinding Tarkov, so you haven't been here? Oh, you poor soul. You poor soul. They got you back. I thought you said you didn't know if you were going back, man. Sad. They got you. Nikita got you. Rip. They added a lever action. I know. And it was apparently OP, and then they just recently nerfed it. I know. I saw it. I love a lever action. But I still said, nope. Can't do it. Can I have some money, sir? Rep goes down. Flirting back or whatever is kind of crossing a line. Well, then you also have like people that think shit is flirting that isn't flirting. Right? Like, I have had many times where people have thought I was flirting with them and I was just being kind. And this happens a lot with gay dudes, but it can also happen with women. I've had like women, I've been dating. I remember very clearly I was dating this one girl and she asked to look at my phone. And whenever I'm asked to look at my phone, I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. I have nothing to hide, you know? And she's looking through my messages and then she got really angry at me because she said I was flirting, and I look at the messages, and like her idea was flirting was just that I used some smiley faces, which like if you're in the Discord, you know I use an emoji at the end of almost every message. Like I will end a message with an emoji, lol, lamau, like almost every single message. You could go through all of my messages I've ever put in the Discord, hundreds or thousands or however many, and I can guarantee you 90% of them will have an emoji or lol or lamau like at the end. Like that's how I message. It just helps to make it so it's like, you know, if you say something that could possibly be misinterpreted the wrong way, if it's got a smiley, it's like, oh, he doesn't mean it in a mean way, right? And Jesus, she got so fucking mad. She's like, what are you doing? You're flirting with these chicks. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, bruh. So like that also becomes a problem is people get real upset. Verify the ventilation is vacant. Sprats like the necessary. Examine wiring on 921D3 thoroughly. Wears out faster than the other ports. Reason unknown. Adjust the intake valve. Okay. No, I did not post the apple pie because I have not made the apple pie yet. My uncle made apple pie, and I was like, well, we're not gonna make 2 apple pies, so we just put the stuff for the apple pie in the fridge. We haven't made it yet. So I did have apple pie, but it was not my apple pie. Apparently I'm flirting. That's just how I talk. Yeah, I don't know. People always say that. I've had friends get mad at me because I was flirting with their girlfriends, which I literally wasn't. I talked to dudes and chicks the exact same. Like anybody that's been in the stream when I've played with chicks can confirm that as well. Like I talk to them the exact same and treat them the same and make the same fucking jokes and everything that I do with dudes. I'm like, no, bro. I would never flirt with someone's fucking partner. And plus, I would never even flirt with anyone right now because I'm not interested in a relationship. Why would I be flirting with people when I'm not interested in a relationship? I have been willingly single for 5 years now and loving it. Like, I have no desire to get in a relationship anytime soon. Like, I have really been thoroughly enjoying the single life. Trust me, man. You can have your ball and chain. I am not interested. I did not end my last relationship because I wanted to take my homies or something like that. You know? Was the goth chick, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Well, I mean, she was a little bit of an alt girl. I suppose. No, it was the Hispanic girl that I dated that was bipolar. That was the chick that like freaked out over my fucking text messages. She's like, I can't believe you're texting Amanda like this. And I was like, bro, I've known Amanda and we've been friends for like 5 years. What are you on about? You gotta relax, woman. Locate the doctor. She had bipolar. Yeah, but that wasn't even one of her down spirals. That's just kind of how she was normally. Like that was actually her being pretty calm, all things considered. When she was at her low points, it would be like we were talking on the phone for hours of her screaming and crying and saying she's gonna kill herself and kill her fucking family and all sorts of stuff. And she was Hispanic as well. So if you've ever dated a Hispanic girl, then you know they already have some temper tantrum issues. They are already spicy. A lot like their food, they're spicy. So it was a real double whammy situation. Makes more sense that she was Latina. Fucking crazy people. They are definitely passionate individuals. Overhead attack. We strongly encourage you to stay out of range of protect artillery. Yeah, about that. Tell him to go kick it that he shows up with flowers and a honey pack. Yeah, I have never had that before. I've had hundreds of gay men try and go on dates with me. I have only ever went on a few. I don't know exactly how many. I went on a couple dates with men. And it just never worked out. They were always too gay. That's my problem with gay men, is that they're gay. Don't get me wrong, I'm no James Charles. I'm not trying to like convert a straight dude or something. But like if I can tell you're gay the millisecond you walk into the room, I'm not interested. I just don't like that flamboyant shit, man. I don't find it attractive. It's like if I'm interested in a dude, if I'm interested in a man, I want a man. If I wanted a discount chick, I would just get with a chick.
Welcome, distinguished consumer, to the front lines of
big spender.
You know, I never understood the femboy appeal or anything like that. Well, I mean, I've understood the appeal to other people, but like, to me, it's like, why would I want a femboy when I could just get with a chick?
Auntie's Choice welcomes you to Forward Operating Base 136, Future Consumer. You should take care in this hostile climb. Risks include inclement weather, hostile animals, risk of collateral damage, leaking uranium, artillery, shrapnel, frostbite, cave-ins, hypothermia, cultists, landmines.
Ever seen Finster? That's a femboy we can get behind. Isn't Finster trans?
And insect bites.
Trans isn't really femboy, is it? I'm pretty sure trans is something else entirely.
You never know. That's enough for rote greetings. You're not a feckless civilian, or you would have died halfway here, so I'll speak plainly. Cloisters asthai. I want off-planet yesterday, with my extremities intact, and that necessitates aid. You do my work for me, I can pay. Some Protectorate jackanapes are holed up on some main routes near here, thereby separating us from the rest of our force. Remove them by any means. Preferably by
I'm
killing
pretty
them
sure
and scattering
Finster
the
is
remains to
trans.
the winds, but so long as they're gone, I don't much care.
Scattered to the wind, not my thing, regardless, the job's already
Good.
done.
I'm glad I put my faith in someone who can accomplish what needs doing. Here's your reward.
I know that Finster is trans now because there were a lot of memes about irony poisoning because Finster used to be a dude that would dress up like a chick for a bit, and then the bit kept going, and the bit kept going and going. And when Finster wasn't doing the bit, he would have significantly less views. So then the bit kept going. and then he basically got irony poisoning. Like he went trans, and I don't know if Finster goes by she, her, or whatever now, but I'm pretty sure they identify as at least like feminine, and made an OnlyFans or Fansly or Patreon or one of those. And yeah, now then everybody memed that it was irony poisoning. And yeah. The bit kept getting him paid. Absolutely, I respect it. It did. Yeah. It definitely did. Yeah, she grew into it, I don't know. All I know is that if you look it up online, you can find a whole lot of pornography of that individual. That's what I know.
Likely to be buried alive by my paperwork as the snow outside.
And for a chick, she's got a pretty cute dick. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, God. But yeah, no. I'm interested in, like, the Henry Cavill type of man. Not a little, twink. If I want something feminine, I'll just get with a female. That's a crazy gift.
Squeezed us good this time. I feel like a sprat of unusual size in a cage meant for miniature.
Watching the drinks streams while I'm drinking. Yeah, I don't know. You get me like a Henry Cavill, a Chris Evans, you know, an actual fucking attractive buff dude. That's attractive to me. Not someone that looks like me, bro.
I cannot believe how bloody
No feminine, breedable, whatever the fuck people say in my chat I look like.
Imagine how bad it would have been out here before this thing fell.
Okay, I suppose that's true. The one gracious thing the Protectorate has done.
The scrappers are getting closer and sniffing around at night. They give me. I would rather have them
Burnt the inside of my nose with coffee. Rip.
as long as they stay over there, I say it's live and let me continue to draw a paycheck. True, but that's
He's on record as saying I want everyone I fuck to look like a woman, even the men.
Welcome to Auntie's.
For me, it's like, I don't know. I feel like if you're gay and you're only interested in femboys, how gay are you really? Are you gay or do you just hate women? You know? And a little fun tidbit. The most sexist people I've ever known in my life are all gay men. I've never met people more sexist than gay men. A lot of men are gay just because they hate women, which on one, based, but on two, I think that explains a whole lot of the appeal, you know, of like femboys and stuff like that, because it's like you're still kind of into the female form and the feminine wiles, but you just don't actually like women. What does it take, I wonder, to make mini rockets? So this makes 2 mini rockets. Honestly, I think it was Cameron in chat and he was saying that crafting is not worth it and that it's better to just buy stuff. This is the exception. If you're running an explosives build, I think crafting is actually really good, because crafting not only allows you to make grenades, which, like, you can see the whole game, I haven't used like really any grenades, and I only have 24, 19, 77, 10, 28, 50. Like, this might seem like a lot of grenades, but if you're running an explosives build, this is probably going to be your primary form of damage for most of the game, right? So, like, this is actually not a lot. And also remember, I have over 60 hours in the game, and I only have this many. So I definitely think crafting is worth it if you're doing an explosives build, but also mini rockets. Take a look at this. You can craft 2 for 2 black powder, 1 scrap metal, 1 foil, 1 screws. Very common resources. If you want to buy mini rocket, it is retardedly expensive. I'll show you. Even without the upcharge. 11,000 if you want to just buy 1. It's like 50 or 60 bits for 1 rocket. If you want to buy 125 rockets, it's 11,250, which is fucking crazy. So this is definitely worth crafting instead. Oh, but I will sell my junk. Hashtag Jim on Instagram. You scroll through some posts, you'll find some of the gayest comments on there. I mean, yeah, gym bros are kind of gay, but they're gay in like a straight way. Yeah. He's not gay, but he's gay as fuck. Yeah, for me, I just commit, bro. Like, if I'm getting with a dude, I'm gonna get with a whole ass man. And if I'm getting with a chick, I'm gonna get with a whole ass chick. Like, I believe both have their beauties and their fat cat armor. I think both have their beauties and they have their intricacies and, you know, unique things about them that I find attractive. And so I'd rather like lean into that. I don't want to date some Abby looking fucking chick. It's ripped as hell and could tear me in half with gorilla strength or something. You know, and I don't want to date some feminine little boy. Muscle dummy mommies. As Shane Gillis once famously said to Joe Rogan, you're getting close. You're getting real close. I don't know. Lean beef patty? That's not a muscle mommy. She's small. It's not a muscle mommy at all. That's a bitch with abs. Muscle mommy is like fucking Brock Lesnar's daughter. Or like actual professional female, you know, bodybuilders.
Enemy spotted.
That's just a dude with a wig. Once the titties become pecs, I'm out. Well, then that's not a muscle mommy. That is just a girl with abs. Or a girl with, you know, like toned thighs. A muscle mommy is like fucking Ghislaine from Mushoku Tensei. You know? Like a fucking just ripped as hell. Could bench press me. Big ol' fucking person. I mean, to just line, she's bad. Well, there you go. That's a proper muscle mommy. That is a full on. If she was real, you know, she'd have 0 titties and they would all be muscle. Because of anime logic, I think she has normal titties, but, you know, IRL, that would obviously not happen because that's not how that works. It's like an Escanor type woman. Muscle mommy or goth chick? For me, goth chick all day. I don't find muscle mommies attractive. I don't want a woman that's stronger than me. If I can't easily domestically abuse my girl, then I don't want her. If I can't throw that bitch around when she talks back, I don't want you could have her. Oh god. Sometimes I like to think about if my coworkers were to hear me, how much they would just clutch their pearls in disbelief. Obviously, but TV show Ellie, Last of Us season 2, or fucking Last of Us 2 game app. Ooh, that's actually tough. That is probably the toughest would you rather I've ever had on stream. I think that is the toughest one. That is really tough, actually. Holy wait, you cooked with that. You actually cooked. So am I choosing fetal alcohol syndrome Ellie from the show, or Brock Lesnar's daughter, steroid bitch from the game Abby? That's really difficult. Oh man, they're both so unattractive. Oh my god, that's actually so hard. I mean, honestly, I don't think I would have the physical capabilities of having sexual intercourse with either of them, because there would just be absolutely no way I could get hard in that situation. But you know, if we got a honey pack, we can, you know, artificially create something. I think I go Ellie in the show. I think so. I think I go show Ellie. Oh god, but it's close. It's really close. That's a toughie. If you ask me on a different day, you'll probably get a different answer. That's such a toughie. Really? I wasn't expecting that. I've seen Game Abby's titties and it was just gross, you know? Who knows? Maybe fetal alcohol syndrome girl has some good titties. I doubt it. But maybe. At least I haven't seen those. At least I'll have a little bit of the wow factor. Ugh. Ah. Actually gave me the heebie-jeebies. Hi, animal. I don't remember if I said hi, but hi. Baba booey. I had a fat crush on Ellie in The Last of Us 1. She was 1 year older than me in 2013. I mean, I had a big crush on Ellen Page back when Ellen Page was Ellen Page and not Elliot Page. You know, I remember seeing her in like Juno and being like, oh my god, she's so cute. I don't know what it is. She looks like the type of chick that would be like the cutest girl in your class, you know? And Ellen Page really looked a lot like Ellie. So I kind of get that. Not so much anymore, though. Definitely not into Elliot Page. Wow, that's crazy. Who would have guessed? The chick from Beyond Two Souls? Yes. It is the same chick. I gotta use this shotgun more often. This thing's nice. Yeah, but holy hell, that show is so bad, guys. Last of Us Season 2 is so bad. Gotten at least 50 ads on this stream. I'm sorry, dude. I wish I could do something about that. My credit card will expire soon. I need to get a new credit card. Ugh. What about Audrey Plaza? Audrey Plaza, that's the like no emotion chick, right? She's fine. I've never found her as attractive as a lot of people seem to. She's fine. Out of like that group of girls, I always thought Anna Kendrick was the hottest out of all of them. Like Anna Kendrick was kind of in like this cast in a lot of the same movies and stuff as Audrey Plaza. And I don't know, I always found her more attractive personally. Can only handle Pedro Pascal dying once. I didn't want to watch it, but during Thanksgiving, my family put it on and they were all watching it. And it's just bad. Like, it's straight up just bad. Every single thing that they changed is worse. Which I felt this way in season 1 as well. It's like every single thing that they changed in season 1, I was like, they just made it worse. Like, not even from like a game elitist standpoint, just like objectively the pacing is worse because of it. So like, for those that don't know, in The Last of Us show, they got rid of spores, right? They got rid of, the whole point in the game is that the reason why this shit is so scary is because it's airborne and it's spores, and if you breathe it in. And in the game, you have to wear a lot of masks. But Pedro Pascal didn't want to wear a gas mask the whole show for the first season. So they completely got rid of the spores. It's not in the show at all. They're basically just normal zombies in the show. They just bite you when you turn, right? So instantly less scary, right? Well, because of that, so many things are just like infinitely more complicated and annoying in the show than in the game. And the best example in the game, there's a scene where Ellie gets attacked and her gas mask cracks, and she's in spores, and it's like, oh shit, if your gas mask cracks, then you turn, right? And she's with Dina, and in the game, Ellie's gas mask cracks, and Dina's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And she tries to take off her gas mask and put it on Ellie. She's like, we can share mine. And Ellie's like, no, I'm fine. And that scene instantly lets Dina know, oh shit, Ellie is immune, right? Because she's not instantly turning, she's not coughing, stuff like that, right? Well, they can't do that in the show because they don't have the spores and they don't have the gas masks, right? So as a result, what they have to do in the show is that Dina is about to get bit, and Ellie puts her arm in the thing's like fucking mouth to block her from getting bit. And so the thing's like nomming on her arm, and then her and Dina get out, and Dina is like holding a gun on her, and it's like this whole like 5-minute scene that doesn't have to exist, where she's like holding the gun at her like it's a normal zombie movie, like she's gonna turn any second because she got bit. And then Ellie's like trying to explain like, no, I'm immune, and she's like, no, I'm not listening or whatever, right? And it turns in this whole like song and dance. There's a whole scene that is just unnecessary because in the game, because of the spores, it is like just, flip of a switch. Dina realizes, oh, this bitch immune. Like she's not coughing or anything in the spores. She doesn't have a gas mask. She's immune, right? So it's one of those things, man, where like every change that they made is worse. It's just worse in the show. And then to top it all off, since Joel dies in the second season, you know what they do? Since Pedro Pascal is the reason why they didn't do the spores, because he didn't want to wear a fucking gas mask, because he wanted everyone to be able to see his face, because it would be better for his agent to negotiate further rates. After he dies, they go, oh yeah, it's airborne now. And they make the spores exist. They don't even stick with the fucking decision that they make in season 1 that they made for this dude. The moment he dies and the moment they're like, oh, okay, well, we don't have to worry about Pedro Pascal being in a fucking mask anymore, they go, oh my god, it's mutated and now it's airborne. It's like, just do that from the beginning. The story is better. It's way scarier if it's airborne. Like, that's the scariest thing about The Last of Us, is it's fucking airborne. You open up a cellar, you're looting, and you open up a cellar, and there's a bunch of the growths down there, a bunch of the cordyceps, and the spores fucking waft out. Boom, you're dead now. You're dead because you opened a door, right? It's like terrifying. Like, that's so scary. And they just turn it into generic zombie bite until he dies, and then they're like, okay, now we can do it. It's like, oh my god, bro. It's just terrible. It's fucking awful writing. so many of the scenes are just made worse because they changed shit that did not need changed. It's so bad.
This must be the place Ortiz mentioned. Hard to fathom a lab in those caves.
It's so bad, bro. Just don't watch it. And it genuinely, like, I was not the biggest fan of Last of Us 2, the game, but the show does make the game look like a masterpiece. Like, dude, even if you hate the Last of Us 2 game, if you watch season 2 of the show, you'll go, actually, the game is really fucking good. Like, and I don't know if they did that on purpose to make the game look better. I don't know, but if they did, it's genius. It worked really well because it's so bad, bro. It's so bad. The whole show is just like, what the? And they just make Ellie incompetent, like she's like comedic relief. The beauty of season 2 of The Last of Us, or Last of Us 2 in the game, is Ellie is terrifying. She's so fucking scary. Like, the moment where you play as Abby and you're fighting Ellie is genuinely one of the scariest moments in the game. Just fighting Ellie. Like, I would rather fight the Rat King than fight Ellie. Bro, Ellie is so scary. She's fucking like crouching around. She's planting bombs. She's rigging tripwires and shit. You're like, oh my, this bitch is terrifying. She's so scary, you know? And then in the show, she's just like, hey, what you doing there? And Dina's like, I'm triangulating. I'm using their radio coordinates in order to triangulate their locations. And then she's like, you know what triangulating in is? You know how to triangulate? And Ellie goes, something with a protractor? Something with triangles? She's like useless. Every time Ellie shoots the gun, she shoots it like this, like one-handed, and she goes, like she's never shot a gun before or something. She's like terrified. Meanwhile, Dina's fucking like an operator, like I'm like, what have they done? What have they done? It's terrible. Anyway, with all that being said, thank you everybody for stopping by the stream. Maybe I'll stream after work today. I should be free. Appreciate all of you. I gotta clock in for work. Have a great rest of your day. Hopefully you all had a great Thanksgiving as well. Enjoy the deals for Black Friday. If you're sniping any of those, be safe if you're going in any stores. Don't get fucking run down or caught in the mulch of psychos. And yeah, don't watch Last of Us Season 2. It's terrible. I watched 5 episodes of it or something, so you didn't have to. It's awful. Don't do it. Okay. Have a good one. Bye-bye.